Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free English ebook before it's gone. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome to the 2000 Core English Words and Phrases video series. Each lesson will help you learn new words, practice, and review what you've learned. Okay, let's get started. First is local train. Local train. Local train. A local train is a train that stops at all stations on the train line. Here's an example sentence. The local train stops at every small station along its route. The local train stops at every small station along its route. The local train stops at every small station along its route. Timetable. 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 A timetable is a list of times of usually departures and arrivals or other types of schedules. We use timetables a lot for buses, trains, for classes, lectures, and other things that require a strict schedule. Here's an example. Departure and arrival times are all on the timetable. Departure and arrival times are all on the timetable. Departure and arrival times are all on the timetable. Ticket inspection. Ticket inspection. Ticket inspection. A ticket inspection is an expression that means a ticket check. So when you get on a bus or a train, for example, you may be asked to show your ticket. The staff want to confirm you have a ticket or that you have the correct ticket, for example. Here's an example sentence. Keep your ticket handy for a ticket inspection at each stop. Keep your ticket handy for a ticket inspection at each stop. Keep your ticket handy for a ticket inspection at each stop. Ticket gate. Ticket gate. Ticket gate. A ticket gate is a short gate you pass through with your ticket. Depending on the gate, you may need to show your ticket to a staff member or put your ticket into the gate to have it checked by the gate. Here's an example sentence. Show your ticket at the ticket gate on the way to the train. Show your ticket at the ticket gate on the way to the train. Show your ticket at the ticket gate on the way to the train. Platform. 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 A platform is the place next to the train tracks. It's where you get on the train and the place where you go to after you get off the train. This is the area where you can wait for your train to arrive. Here's an example sentence. The man is waiting on the platform. The man is waiting on the platform. The man is waiting on the platform. Ticket machine. Ticket machine. Ticket machine. A ticket machine is a machine where you can buy a ticket. It may look like a vending machine. It may be some kind of machine in a wall. It depends on the location, but it's a place where you can buy a ticket for something. Here's an example. The ticket machine is broken. The ticket machine is broken. The ticket machine is broken. Ticket booth. Ticket booth. Ticket booth. A ticket booth is a small area of usually a lobby or maybe an information desk where you can buy a ticket from a person. So it's different from a ticket machine because usually there is a staff person there to help you. You find ticket booths in train stations and in movie theaters, for example. Here's an example sentence. The ticket booth is empty. The ticket booth is empty. The ticket booth is empty. Print. 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 So print is a verb. Maybe you have a printer in your home. When you print something, you make it go from a digital form on your computer to a physical form on a piece of paper. Here's an example sentence. We needed to print 500 copies of the memo. We needed to print 500 copies of the memo. We needed to print 500 copies of the memo. Publish. 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 To publish something means to make something public. We use this with writing and with digital content. So for example, blog content or video content or social media content. Here's an example. Should we publish the new book on paper or on the internet? Should we publish the new book on paper or on the internet? Should we publish the new book on paper or on the internet? Pamphlet. 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 A pamphlet is usually a piece of folded paper that has some basic information about an event, a company, or an organization. They are usually very easy to take, and they are often free at event spaces. Here's an example. A pamphlet is a good, cheap way to pass out valuable information. A pamphlet is a good, cheap way to pass out valuable information. A pamphlet is a good, cheap way to pass out valuable information. Let's review. I'm going to describe a word or phrase in English. See if you can remember it. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say the train that stops at all the stations along the train line? Local train. Local train. And how to say the list of departure and arrival times for things like planes, trains, and buses. Timetable. Timetable. What about the expression that means your ticket check? Ticket inspection. Ticket inspection. Do you remember how to say the space at the train station where you have to show your ticket or insert your ticket? Ticket gate. Ticket gate. Let's try the word that means the waiting space next to the train tracks. Platform. Platform. Okay, what about the word that means the machine where you can buy your tickets? Ticket machine. Ticket machine. Now, let's see if you remember how to say the small space where you can buy a ticket from another person. Ticket booth. Ticket booth. Another one. What about the word that means to transform something or to change something from digital to a physical something, like on a piece of paper? Print. Print. Do you remember how to say to make something public, like a piece of writing or digital content? Publish. Publish. And finally, do you remember how to say the folded piece of paper that gives some basic and important information about an event or an organization? Pamphlet. Pamphlet. Well done! See you next time. Bye! Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome to the 2000 Core English Words and Phrases video series. Each lesson will help you learn new words, practice, and review what you've learned. Okay, let's get started. First is lobby. 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 A lobby is the basic place in a hotel, usually, where people can wait or people can make arrangements to meet someone else. It's kind of a space for everyone to use. Here's an example. Hotel lobby. Hotel lobby. Hotel lobby. Wake-up service. Wake-up service. Wake-up service. Wake-up service is a service you can request from hotel staff. You can ask the front desk staff at the hotel to call your room at a certain time to wake you up. Here's an example. I used the wake-up service to call me at 6 o'clock a.m. I used the wake-up service to call me at 6 o'clock a.m. I used the wake-up service to call me at 6 o'clock a.m. Suite. 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 A suite is a type of hotel room. In a suite-style hotel room, there is a kitchen and maybe a sitting area included inside the room. Here's an example. Hotel suite. Hotel suite. Hotel suite. Cycling. 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 Cycling is a popular sport. Cycling uses a bicycle. Usually, people who cycle like to go for long distances and even participate in competitions. Here's an example. Cycling race. Cycling race. Cycling race. Auto racing. Auto racing. Auto racing. Auto racing is short for automobile racing. So this refers to a sport where cars are raced on a racing track. Here's an example. Racing car on an auto racing track. Racing car on an auto racing track. Racing car on an auto racing track. Scotch tape. Scotch tape. Scotch tape. Scotch tape is actually a brand of tape. This is a very commonly used kind of very clear, thin tape we often use around the house, in the office, at school, and so on. Here's an example. Roll of Scotch tape. Roll of Scotch tape. Roll of Scotch tape. Be born. Be born. Be born. So we use born to talk about the date of our birth or the location of our birth. Make sure when you use this verb that you change the be verb to match your subject. For example, I was born, he was born, she was born, or you were born, and so on. For example, I was born in 1980. I was born in 1980. I was born in 1980. Get a job. Get a job. Get a job. To get a job means to go out and search for a way to earn money. This can be a part-time job, a full-time job, a freelance job, and so on. Here's an example. My brother finally got a job. My brother finally got a job. My brother finally got a job. Die. 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 The verb to die means to no longer be alive. We can use the verb to talk about people no longer being alive, animals, plants, basically any living thing. Here's an example. Die of an illness. Die of an illness. Die of an illness. Tokyo. 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 Tokyo is a very, very big city in Japan. It's one of the biggest cities, if not the biggest city in terms of population in the world. Here's an example. Tokyo is really convenient. Tokyo is really convenient. Tokyo is really convenient. Let's review. I'm going to describe a word or phrase in English. See if you can remember it. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say the open space, usually in a hotel, where people can meet others? Lobby. Lobby. And how to say the service you can ask for in the hotel where the front desk staff will call you in the morning? Wake-up service. Wake-up service. Okay, what about the type of hotel room that has a kitchen and maybe a sitting area included? Suite. Suite. Do you remember how to say the sport that's done by riding a bicycle for long distances? Cycling. Cycling. Okay, let's try the sport that's played by using cars at very fast speeds on a racetrack. Auto racing. Auto racing. What about the word that describes the common office tool that is very sticky on one side and used to connect two things together? Scotch tape. Scotch tape. Now, let's see if you remember how to say the verb we use to talk about the place of our birth or the date of our birth. Be born. Be born. Another one. What about the expression we use when we finally find a way to earn some money in exchange for doing some tasks? Get a job. Get a job. Do you remember how to express when someone or something alive no longer is living? Die. Die. And finally, do you remember how to say the name of Japan's biggest city? Tokyo. Tokyo. Well done. See you next time. Bye. Want to speed up your language learning? Get access to all of our best PDF cheat sheets for free. Just click the link in the description and sign up for your free lifetime account right now.
Slower, please. Slower, please.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Once again, please. Once again, please. It's difficult. It's difficult. Make yourself at home. Make yourself at home.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good evening.
Good night. Good night.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Sorry to keep you waiting.
How are you? How are you?
How have you been? How have you been?
I'm good. I'm good.
This is for you. This is for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. What's your phone number? What's your phone number? How old are you? How old are you?
Where are you from? Where are you from? Where do you live? Where do you live?
What is it? What is it? Awesome. Awesome. Delicious. Delicious. I like it. I like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Help. Help.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. Really? Really? Please? Please?
Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
Long time no see. Long time no see. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to eat. I want to eat. I'm planning to go tomorrow. I'm planning to go tomorrow. What's this? What's this?
Where is the bathroom? Where is the bathroom?
How much is this? How much is this?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
May I sit here? May I sit here?
How long will you stay? How long will you stay? I have a fever. I have a fever. Please write it down. Please write it down. It looks great. It looks great. Do you like it? Do you like it? What's the next stop? What's the next stop?
Hi everyone! Today we'll be talking about everyday American culture in the US. Last time we talked about American supermarkets and how they're unique. This time we're going to look at how much it actually costs to live in New York City. When you think about America, perhaps one of the first things that might come to mind is the bright lights and the fast pace of the big city. For sure, in New York City, everyone who visits wants to go to the big tourist locations: Central Park, Times Square, the Statue of Liberty. But how much does it actually cost to live there? In this video, we're going to talk about the actual living costs of New York City. Let's start with the most basic thing you need to live in New York: an apartment. Without an apartment, you can't really say you live in New York City. But if you want to live in the city, you should be prepared to live in a small space. More than half of the apartments in New York City are 700 square feet or smaller. That's about 65 square meters. This could be for a studio apartment, which has no walls between the kitchen and the bedroom. Or it could be a one-bedroom apartment, which does have a separate bedroom. These kinds of places cost on average $1,890 or $2,100 respectively. So expect to pay a pretty high price if you want to live in the city. But keep in mind that a separate payment is required for heat and water in your apartment. For an average apartment, about 915 square feet in New York City, about $145 is required for utility bills. This covers heating, electricity, water, and garbage. For internet and phone, however, that's a totally separate payment. One of the best things about living in New York City is how convenient things are. If you walk down the street, you can quickly find a coffee shop, a bookstore, or a supermarket. Because of this, people who live there rarely have cars. It's quite expensive to keep one in the city. Instead, people use public transportation, like buses or the subway. For a monthly transit pass, you can expect to pay about $120. And if you want to use a taxi, fares start at $2.50. New York City is known for its wide variety of delicious restaurants. You can find food from all over the world. You can get anything from a food cart hot dog to an expensive steak dinner in New York City. Because of this wide variety, however, it's hard to determine a specific average for a meal. When living in New York City, you can imagine going to concerts, shows, baseball games, and so on. But the cost of these can get pretty pricey. If you want to see the latest film in New York City, you can expect to pay about $15 per ticket. If you want to do something a little more exciting and check out a Yankees baseball game, for example, it'll cost you about $50 a ticket. And if you want to check out Broadway and see one of the latest shows, you can expect to pay about a couple $100s for the best seats. There are lots of ways to determine the cost of living in New York City, but these are just a couple important aspects. So, how does New York City compare to big cities in your country? What are some things that are different? And what else would you like to know about American culture? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to learn more about American culture, click the link in the description, sign up for your free lifetime account, and start learning with us today. We'll see you next time. Bye! This kicked on in the middle of the shot. Jerk. Big cities in your country. No! Memories. Comment to us, please. Compare to big cities in your country. What are some things that are different?
Okay, let's try that one more time. Your hair.
My hair is like, I want to be in the picture.
Yeah. Just that one.
Thanks. And then subscribe to our channel. Uno más!
After the wind.
Yeah! Hi everyone! Today we're going to be talking about everyday culture in the US. Last time we talked about American convenience stores and how they're unique. This time we're going to talk about American supermarkets. A supermarket, also known as a grocery store, is a one-stop location where people can purchase foods, drinks, and basic household supplies. There are currently over 38,000 supermarkets in the United States. These range from small family-owned stores to huge corporate superstores. The first supermarket was a locally owned shop called Piggly Wiggly. That was 100 years ago. These days, the supermarket industry is dominated by big brands like Kroger, Walmart, and Costco. These stores are massive. The size of an average Costco is about 145,000 square feet. That's about the size of 3 professional soccer fields. Because of the size of these stores, a wider variety of goods is available than in average supermarkets in other countries. In 1975, there was an average of about 8,000 different items in the typical supermarket. By 2008, however, that number had increased to about 47,000 different items. Supermarkets in the US include huge sections that are hard to find in other countries. These include meats, cheeses, cereals, and produce. Many of these sections are unaffected by any kind of seasonal limitations, and so you can find these products year-round. There are several key vocabulary words for supermarkets in the US. The dairy section is where you can find yogurt, milk, and cheese. In the produce section, you can find fresh fruit and vegetables. Meat sections are usually where you can buy fresh cuts of beef, pork, and chicken. Packaged lunch meats can be purchased in the deli section. There's also a huge variety of packaged goods. Find entire aisles devoted to things like beans, grains, cereals, and pasta. If you'd like to try to cook something quickly, you can also find a lot of things in the frozen food section. Some supermarkets also have bakeries where you can buy pre-made breads, pastries, and other items. While in some countries it's common to find a huge selection of fish and spices at supermarkets, in the US it's very common to find huge selections of cheese and snack foods. Processed foods and dairy are some of the most commonly purchased items at supermarkets in the US. Despite the huge variety and availability of out-of-season goods, prices at supermarkets in the US have remained low. A gallon of milk is around $3. 500 grams of cheddar cheese is as little as $2. 1 kilogram of beef is less than $8, and apples are less than $1 each. Some things are more expensive at supermarkets in the US. A great example of this is seafood. For example, in places which are landlocked or surrounded by land with no access to the ocean, good quality seafood is hard to find. Because of this, there's a limited variety of seafood, and most of it is frozen. Goods sold at some supermarkets in the United States are much larger than goods in other countries. At warehouse-style superstores, you can buy items in bulk. Bulk items are items you can buy a large amount of at one time. These supermarkets usually offer two ways to check out or pay for your items. The first way is for a cashier to take each individual item from an automatic conveyor belt. The second way is with self-checkout. Customers take their items to a self-checkout machine, scan each item, and then pay at the machine directly. At the machine, customers are required to pack their purchases into bags. At the cashier, either a cashier or an attendant will pack the customer's goods into bags. These methods are equally popular, and you can use cash or a credit card to finish your payment. So, how do supermarkets in the US compare to supermarkets in your country? What's similar? What's different? And is there anything else you'd like to know about culture in the US? Please let us know in the comments. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and if you'd like to learn more about culture in the US, click the link in the description to get a free lifetime account and start learning with us today. See you next time. Bye! Two ways to check out. Can you see it? Yeah. Okay. Warehouse style or superstore style stores. I tried to say that and it was not good. And is there anything else you'd like to know about culture in...
It's time to go home.
Hi everyone! Today we're going to be talking about American culture. Specifically, we're going to talk about convenience stores. Convenience stores are small retail shops that sell a wide variety of goods. They sell everything from food and drinks to snacks, accessories, car maintenance tools, and other things. The United States has over 150,000 convenience stores around the country. The largest is the 7-Eleven franchise. America has a huge driving culture, and it's very normal to use your car to commute everywhere. This means that gas stations are typically open for long periods of time. In many cases, gas stations are open 24/7, meaning 24 hours, 7 days a week. This makes things very convenient for late-night drivers. Convenience stores in the US might be a little bit different than what you're used to in your home country. Typically, convenience stores are paired with gasoline stands, so it's pretty rare to find a convenience store that doesn't have a gas pump attached. Because of this, convenience stores are typically found on major highways or on the side of really big roads. It's very uncommon to see convenience stores in neighborhoods or on small alleys and so on. So for this reason, it's pretty uncommon to see people walking to visit a convenience store. The best way to get to a convenience store is actually to drive there. The main source of revenue for most convenience stores in the United States is gasoline. About 96% of total revenue from most convenience stores in the States comes from gasoline sales, while the rest of the revenue comes from sales of goods inside the stores. Let's take a look at some of the foods you can expect to find in a typical American convenience store. First of all, you can find a huge selection of snacks, foods, and various drinks. People spent about $25 million in 2017 on food inside convenience stores. But most of the food you find in convenience stores isn't that nutritious. It's typically stuff that's easy to eat while you're driving, and salads aren't so easy to eat behind the wheel. But a bag of potato chips and an energy drink are pretty convenient for a late-night drive. While they might not be the healthiest options, they are pretty tasty from time to time. Some classic American convenience store foods that you can always find are Slim Jim sausages, pre-made cakes and pastries, bags of potato chips, and any candy bar you might want. There are some things you can find only in convenience stores in America. This includes local favorites like boiled peanuts in the southern parts of America, or freshly delivered Krispy Kreme donuts. Each store also has its own specialty items. 7-Eleven has its famous cold drink, the Slurpee, and the chain Wawa is known for its coffee. While hot foods are available at convenience stores in the USA, they don't have the best reputation for being great on flavor. It's pretty common to find a selection of hot dogs or microwave sandwiches that customers heat up themselves and eat on the go. But the problem with these is that most of these items are not actually fresh. They've been sitting out under a heat lamp all day, so they might not have the best flavor and they might not be of the best quality. There's usually no place to sit down and eat inside of a convenience store, as most of the things sold in convenience stores are to take along with you as you drive. There are other sections you can expect to find in American convenience stores. These include car supplies, accessories, lotto cards, and the ice cream freezer. Convenience stores in America accept cash and credit cards, and in many cases, the pump itself will take your credit card payment. If you want to go inside the convenience store to make your payment, however, you need to tell the clerk in the convenience store the number of your pump and how much you'd like to pay. For example, $20 on pump number 4 means you'd like to pay $20 for the gasoline at pump number 4. So you can use cash to do this, or you can use a credit card. So, how do American convenience stores compare to convenience stores in your country? What's similar? What's different? And is there anything else you'd like to know about American culture? Please let us know in the comments. Okay, if you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Also, if you want to learn more about American culture, please be sure to visit our website at EnglishClass101.com. You can sign up for your free lifetime account and start learning today. Thanks very much for watching this video, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. I'm so good at folding. Oh my God. I'm going to the Folding Awards, Tokyo Folding Awards 2019. So good. Slide in that time to time. I know. Encouraging healthy choices. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome back to Top Words. Today we're going to talk about 10 things to know how to say before traveling. Let's go. I'd like to go to. The first expression is I'd like to go to blah blah blah. I'd like to go to your hotel name. I'd like to go to attraction name. I'd like to go to the nearest station, please. This is an expression you can use with perhaps a taxi driver or maybe like a shuttle bus driver from your hotel. I don't know. So if you want to explain where you're trying to go, you can use this expression. I'd like to go to blah, blah, blah. I'd like to go to blah, blah, blah. In a sentence, I'd like to go to the Empire State Building. Number of people, please. The next expression is number of people, please. Number of people, please. By this, I mean like the number of people in your group. This is an expression you can use when you go to a restaurant. So if you're traveling with your family, for example, you could say 4, please, when you enter a restaurant. Or if you're traveling with one other person, you could say 2, please. So just the number of people in your group when you go to a restaurant. This can be just a small thing that you learn how to say so that you can quickly communicate with restaurant staff. So, in a sentence, 2 people, please. Numbers. Okay, next is just numbers. Numbers are very useful when you travel, especially if you're traveling to a place where the price tags for items might not be clearly displayed. So if you're going to maybe like a flea market, or if you're going to like a yard sale or something where the prices are not clearly marked, you can use your knowledge of numbers to ask about and to listen for prices of things. So if you know your numbers, this can be very helpful for you. And maybe you can also protect yourself from getting charged too much money for something. In a sentence, wow, $50 for this sandwich? Thank you. The next expression is thank you. Thank you. So before you travel, make sure to study how to say thank you and maybe a few different ways that you can say thank you to people. Of course, the most basic form in English is thank you, but maybe consider thanks or I appreciate it or thanks a lot. So make sure to know how to say thank you before you travel. In a sentence, thank you for your help. Can you tell me where is? The next expression is can you tell me where something is? So if you need to ask for directions, you can use this pattern. Can you tell me where the bathroom is, for example? Or can you tell me where this restaurant is? Or can you tell me where this sightseeing spot is? So you can use this when you need to ask directions or when you're in a department store or a shopping situation and you need help finding something. Can you tell me where something is? In a sentence. Can you tell me where the station is? Excuse me. The next expression is excuse me, excuse me. So this is useful for if you bump into someone on the street or if you need to interrupt someone, you need to approach someone with a question. You can sort of begin the conversation with excuse me and then maybe could you tell me where the station is? Or excuse me, I'd like to go to blah, blah, blah. So using excuse me can be a polite way to initiate, to begin a conversation with someone. Excuse me. So in English we have excuse me, or we have sorry as well, but sorry is used more for an apology, I did something wrong. Excuse me is just a way to say, I'd like to begin a conversation, but I recognize that you might be busy with something. So excuse me is you want to start a conversation. Sorry is an apology. So I recommend using excuse me in English. In a sentence, excuse me, where can I buy a train pass? Where is the restroom? Okay, the next one is very important. Where is the restroom? Where is the restroom? So this is an important question, I think. So if you're out shopping or if you're in a sightseeing location, it may be important to know where the restroom is. So where is the restroom is a nice one to use in English. You can say where is the toilet, but in American English, it might sound a little bit too direct. You could also use where is the washroom, perhaps in British English. But generally, where is the restroom is quite a nice expression to know for English travel. In a sentence, where's the restroom? I'd like, please. The next expression is I'd like something, please. This is useful when you visit restaurants. I'd like a beer, please. I'd like a salad, please. You can also use it when you're shopping. So I'd like 3 of that t-shirt, please. I don't know why you need 3. Or I'd like 4 of these, please. So I'd like, again, that D sound. So the same I'd like as we talked about in the first word in this episode, I'd like to go to, we can use I'd like plus a noun phrase. I'd like something, please. Very useful for ordering and for shopping. So in a sentence, I'd like a beer, please. How do you say in English? The next expression is how do you say something in English? How do you say something in English? So if you don't know the English word for something, but you want to know how to say it, you can ask somebody, maybe a friend or maybe staff at your hotel, for example. If there's someone nearby that you can ask, you can use this question. How do you say this in English? You can point to something how do you say this in English? Just pick it up if it's a water bottle in my case. How do you say this in English? Or how do you say that in English? You can use that expression and you can just point to the object to make it clear what you mean. So how do you say something in English? Do you speak language? The next expression is do you speak language? So do you speak language? So if you want to check and see if the other person speaks your language, you can use this expression. So in my case, I would say, do you speak English? Or if you travel somewhere else, maybe if you're from Vietnam, you could say, do you speak Vietnamese? Or do you speak Portuguese? Or do you speak Chinese? So You can ask people around you what languages they speak. If you have like an idea that maybe that person can speak that language, you can ask them, do you speak Japanese? So maybe a useful one. Do you speak English? Too. All right. In a sentence then, do you speak Portuguese? So those are 10 things to know how to say before traveling. I hope that those are a few good pointers for your next trip somewhere. If you have something else that you think is a good thing to know before you travel, let us know in the comments for sure. If you liked the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and check us out at EnglishClass101.com for some other good stuff too. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome to EnglishClass101.com's English in 3 minutes, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn English. Hey everyone, I'm Alicia. In this series, we're going to learn some easy ways to ask and answer common questions in English. It's really useful and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn some ways to get in touch with someone after you have met them once already. In a lot of textbooks, you've probably seen the question, what's your phone number? What's your phone number? It's a very useful question, but there are 2 problems with it. First, it can sound a little too direct, especially when talking to members of the opposite sex. And second, people use the phone a lot less these days than they used to. Instead, they might prefer to connect by email or on a social network like Facebook. To start, though, a simple variation on what's your phone number that sounds a little less direct is, could I get your number? Could I get your number? We start the sentence with could, which softens the request. Next, say I, then get, and finally, your number, which is short for your phone number. This question is slightly casual, but it can be used in almost any situation. Recently, many people prefer to use email rather than the phone to communicate. Asking someone for his or her email address is also a little less direct than asking for their phone number. Could I get your email address? Could I get your email address? We just took could I get your number and replaced number with email address. It's that simple. Could I get your email address? If someone asks you either of these questions, you can reply by saying, sure, my phone number is, sure, my phone number is, or sure, my email address is, sure, my email address is, or sure, it's, and then say your phone number or email address at the end. By the way, if you're having any trouble with numbers, check out EnglishClass101.com's core word lists for these and other key vocabulary words. Each word comes with a picture, audio samples so you can perfect your pronunciation, and sample sentences and phrases so you can master its use in a sentence. Recently, many people use social networks like Facebook or LinkedIn or an online chatting service like Skype to communicate. People might ask you about these, especially if they are younger. If someone wants to connect with you through one of these services, they may simply ask, are you on, followed by the name of the service. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Skype? Are you on Skype? To answer, you can simply say, yes, I am, or no, I'm not. If you respond with, yes, I am, the other person may ask how they can connect with you on one of these services. Of course, if you're not on one of these services, they won't be able to contact you. If you still would like to stay in touch with the person, though, you can say, "No, but my email address is," or "No, but my phone number is," and then say your email address or phone number. By telling the other person a different way they can contact you, you'll show them that you want to hear from them. Now it's time for Alicia's advice. If you ask someone for their phone number, their email address, or some other form of contact information, they will usually give it to you if you have gotten to know them a little beforehand. If you ask too early in the conversation, though, they may be hesitant about sharing that information. The key is to make sure you talk for some time before requesting this kind of personal information. In this lesson, we learned how to ask for a person's contact information. But what's the best way to ask someone to meet you later? Find out next time in the 7th English in 3 Minutes lesson. See you next time! Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Easter Sunday in the United States is among the most important religious holidays in the nation. There are also secular events held around this holiday, and, in some cases, families celebrate traditions other than the Christian one. For Christians, the holiday is centered on the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Churches hold special events during Easter weekend. Besides midnight masses on Christmas, Easter services are some of the most popular in churches in the United States. Do you know when many of them hold these services? We'll show you the answer at the end of this video. Aside from the religious traditions, which vary from church to church, Easter Sunday in the United States is celebrated in other ways as well. Whether or not they happen to be followers of any church, people in the United States are inclined to have family gatherings on this day, and large feasts are usually served. For some people, Easter Sunday is merely a celebration of spring, while for others it has tremendous religious significance. The most prevalent Easter Sunday tradition involves church services. Some churches hold elaborate parades to celebrate the day, and others have less noticeable celebrations. Most churches at least have social events over the Easter holiday, allowing them to spend time with their fellow churchgoers and to socialize. Picnics and other events are also commonly held during this particular holiday. Secular events held during Easter Sunday include Easter egg hunts and other activities for children. These events are open to everyone and don't have any particular religious overtones to them. Community events are often held as well, simply because the holiday is notable and people tend to want to get together. The Easter Bunny, eggs, flowers, and other symbols are very much associated with spring and are still important traditions for this particular holiday. Because denominations in the United States are so diverse, you'll find many different traditions being celebrated on Easter Sunday. Some traditions involve all-night vigils before the holiday itself. And now, here's the answer to the quiz. Do you know when many churches hold Easter services? Services at the break of day are among the most popular church events on Easter Sunday. During these services, Christians come to church in the pre-dawn hours and have their service as the sun rises. For many, these services have a powerful symbolic significance. How was this lesson? Did you learn something interesting? What kind of Easter traditions exist in your country? Please leave a comment at EnglishClass101.com. Until next time!
Want to transform your driving time into language learning time? How much time do you spend in your car every day? 30 minutes? More than an hour? Why not put this huge amount of time to good use? Instead of just listening to the radio during your daily commute, you could be learning a new language instead. Here are 3 easy methods for learning a language in your car. You can put them to use right away with the help of our language learning program. First, you can listen to fun audio lessons by real teachers. Listening to lessons while in the car allows you to focus on the road as you listen and learn. In every one of our 3 to 15-minute lessons, our teachers teach you conversations, new phrases, and cultural points. Audio is the only learning medium that lets you learn and drive safely at the same time, so take advantage of all our audio lessons available. Second, you can set your lessons on autoplay and go hands-free. Our autoplay feature lets you keep your hands on the wheel without even reaching for your device. Just set your lessons to autoplay one by one with our Innovative Language 101 app, and never have to interrupt your focus on driving to switch to a new lesson. Third, you can repeat out loud and speak from your very first lesson. You want to speak a new language too, right? Well, you'll start learning conversations minutes into your lessons. All you have to do is listen and repeat out loud. Our teachers take you step by step through all of the words, phrases, translations, and grammar points. You're even prompted to speak out loud and repeat. The result? You understand it all and can speak your new language. Turn your commute into language learning time and have fun at the same time. Learning doesn't have to be a big commitment, like signing up for a college class. It can be fun and easy. In fact, it's as easy as pressing play. Our language learning programs will do the work for you. And with the exposure you get while driving on your daily commute, you'll be speaking and understanding real-life language quickly. The best part? You can finally learn without even changing your schedule. So if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Yeah, vamos a la playa. Now we're going to the beach. Hi everybody, welcome back to Top Words. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to be talking about 20 travel phrases that you should know. So let's go. Do you have any recommendations? The first phrase is, do you have any recommendations? This is great to use when you get to a restaurant where you don't know what the food is, you don't know anything about the local cuisine, or you're just feeling a little bit adventurous. You can ask the waitstaff, do you have any recommendations? How much is this? How much is this? This is useful when you're out shopping or when you're in a restaurant and the price is not clearly marked or something is not clear to you. So you can ask, how much is this? Usually when you point to something, I would recommend like pointing to the menu or pointing to an item. How much is this? I'd like this. You can point to something and say, I'd like this. If you want to say, I'd like one, for example, I don't know, you're getting beer. I'd like one of these. If, however, you're in a situation where you can't point, you can say, I'd like 10 of the blah, blah, blah. I'd like 10 of the blue t-shirts, please. Can I try this on? Is useful when you're shopping for clothes. So you find something that you'd like to try, just ask the staff, can I try this on? You can just say, I want to try this on, if you like. Do you speak English? You might get asked this phrase. So you should say, if you're watching this video, you should probably say yes, or you can say yes, a little, if you're not feeling very confident. If you're watching this video and you're understanding this part and you say no, then that's a little strange. So, I have a reservation. Usually the staff will greet you and you can say, I have a reservation. Hello, I have a reservation. It's at 7 o'clock. The name is Alicia. Usually we say the name is, or it's under, meaning the reservation is under my name, or it's for name, or it's in name. Water, please. Depending on which country you're from, water may or may not automatically be brought to your table when you're at a restaurant. If you would like more water, however, you can say, water, please. To make it a little more polite, I would wave at the waitstaff and say, could I please have some more water? Do you take credit cards? Do you take credit cards? In case you're not sure if the shop that you're in will accept credit cards or debit cards, you can ask them, do you take credit cards? So it doesn't mean, do you take, meaning, are you going to take my card? But this take means, do you accept credit cards? This isn't what I ordered. So if you're at a restaurant, you order steak and you get lobster instead. You can look at it and go, ah, this isn't what I ordered. Be careful though. Say this politely. If you look at the waitstaff and you say, this isn't what I ordered, they're gonna be like, I don't know, just be a nice customer. Excuse me, but I don't think this is what I ordered, or this isn't what I ordered. Can you please check? Could we have the menu, please? If for some reason you don't receive a menu when you come to the table, you can, again, just wave at a member of the staff and say, could we have the menu, please? Could you give me a discount? Could you give me a discount means I would like a cheaper price, essentially. So it depends on which country you're in. If haggling or bargaining, meaning talking to the seller to try to reduce the price. My family didn't bargain, we didn't haggle, so I don't haggle. It depends on you and your culture, but just be aware of the culture that you're in and the place that you're in before you ask this question. Do you have any vegetarian dishes? This is useful. Some people have specific eating requirements or eating needs, maybe food allergies, for example. You can replace vegetarian with the specific dietary requirement that you have. Do you have any vegan dishes? Do you have any gluten-free dishes? Do you have any low-fat dishes? Do you have any low-carb dishes? Do you have any fish-free dishes? Do you have any... Could you take a picture of me, please? If you are in a location where you would like to take a picture, but you don't want to do a selfie or you don't have a selfie stick or whatever, you want someone else to take a picture of you, a stranger that you don't know, you can ask them, could you take a picture of me, please? Or, excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of me, please? I'm allergic to blah, blah, blah. If you have a food allergy or even an allergy to a medicine, this is the phrase you can use to explain that. I'm allergic to wheat, or I can't eat wheat, for example. Is the Wi-Fi free? Meaning, can I use the Wi-Fi free of charge? Keep in mind, some places have a password that you have to ask the staff for. So you can say, is the Wi-Fi free? If they say yes, you can then follow that up with, can I have the password? I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. So when you go to a restaurant, you have an option between smoking and non-smoking sections. The staff will say smoking or non-smoking. You can say, I'd like to have a non-smoking seat, please. Quite honestly, though, the most natural response is just to say non-smoking. Could I get a map? Maybe it's a map of the subway system for the city that you're in, or maybe it's a map of the area around your hotel. You could say, could I have a map as well? Could I have the check? You're finished at your cafe, you're finished at the restaurant, and it's time to leave, it's time to pay. So you say to the waitstaff, excuse me, could I have the check? Another more common expression perhaps is, excuse me, check please. You might also hear bill. Excuse me, can I have the bill? Where is the bathroom? Very important question. If you're traveling in America, we don't really use the word toilet or washroom very much. We use bathroom or restroom to talk about toilet facilities. Excuse me, can you tell me where the bathroom is? Or excuse me, I'm looking for the bathroom, or I'm looking for the restroom. Is this the train for blah, blah, blah? Or is this the train that goes to blah, 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 to confirm with someone that I'm indeed on the correct train line. If I say, is this the train bound for San Francisco? You can use that to check if you're correct. So that's the end. Those are 20 travel phrases that you can use when you're traveling in an English-speaking country. Give them a try. I hope that they go well for you. Of course, there are many different variations on these themes, so be sure to experiment a little bit. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Top Words, and we will see you again soon. Bye! The things that I do before I travel to a country where I cannot speak the language, I actually learned numbers. Okay. Fin. Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free English ebook before it's gone.